Welcome back to Mastering Menopause. Today, I'm going to talk to you about maintenance because I think people very much misunderstand what maintenance calories actually mean. And this is going to be in the scope of I talk to women all the time, right? And they're like, I'm eating 1,400 to 1,600 calories and I'm maintaining my weight. But I also know that the average maintenance calories for most women is going to be anywhere from 1,800 to 2,200 calories. And so when I tell them that, they're like, yeah, but I'm not losing weight. I'm maintaining my weight at these calories now. So there's a couple different reasons for that. Maintaining your weight and eating at maintenance calories are two different things. You can maintain your weight at 14 to 1,600 calories because you have now adapted your metabolism, or I should say your metabolism has adapted to those low calories. But here's the thing, you could have been having like 2,200 calories this whole time and maintaining your weight. Now, I know in the scheme of weight loss, most women are not concerned with maintaining their weight, right? They want to lose weight. And so what happens is they use a calorie calculator that says, how many calories do I need to lose a pound a week? And so that's where we're getting this number, right? We hear this number and then we get attached to this number. We get married to this number. This is the holy grail number that we're just going to follow for the rest of our lives, right? But I don't think people understand that the way that you get that number is from your actual maintenance calories. And so for me, for myself, it was always 1450, right? 1450, whenever I put it into MyFitnessPal or any kind of calorie calculator, it always came up with that number. But it wasn't working. And so I didn't actually understand, where is this number coming from? I remember buying somebody's program. I'll do your program and can you calculate my calories for me? And it came back 1450. I'm like, what the hell? So there's a reason why, like when you're always in these deficit calories, why it just stops working. And now you're just maintaining on these lower calories. But if you're not making any progress anyways, then wouldn't it be more fun to have your actual maintenance calories? Now, I'm going to show you, we use the precision nutrition calculator to go through to calculate our calories for our clients. All I care about is what the maintenance calories are, because once we come up with your actual maintenance calories, then we can determine like what kind of a deficit are we going to go to once we actually go into a fat loss phase. But for my clients, and I have a 4-week program that's coming up. It's starting on the 23rd. It is going to be 2 weeks at maintenance, and then it's going to be 2 weeks in a deficit. And the ladies are going to be able to pick if they want to be more aggressive, where they can lose 5 to 9 pounds in those 2 weeks, or if they want to be more moderate. But it's all based on maintenance. And that's where it prompted me to do this podcast, because in the application form, this is application only. I am looking for a certain woman for this program. They have to have some experience with tracking macros or calories, even if you're not doing it right now, and also some kind of a weightlifting experience as well, because this is going to be a training program as well as a guiding you through these 2 phases that I do for my clients. This is like a speed round of my actual Fit AF program. So for my clients, we start everybody off in maintenance. So we need to know, what is that number? And man, do I get such a pushback from my ladies, right? Because they insist. They're like, oh, I'm eating anywhere from like 1,600 to 1,800 calories, right? They are insisting that they are at maintenance, right? They're like, nope, I'm at maintenance. I'm not gaining or losing at this amount of calories. I must be in maintenance. And so there's that mindset shift that has to take place first, that, hey, these actually aren't your maintenance calories. Your calories are going to be more. So I'm looking at the applications coming in, and there was this one, she's, yeah, I'm at maintenance calories. And I'm looking at her height. I'm like, no, you're not. There's no way. She's 5'6", and she's eating 1,600 calories, and that's her maintenance, right? And she's saying she's maintaining. And I'm like, that is not your maintenance calories. So it is 2 different numbers, right? We have this number in our head, right, that we've come up with this is what I'm maintaining my weight on, but we're not actually considering what the maintenance number is. Now, for all calorie calculators, to lose 1 pound a week is based on your maintenance calories, and then you take 500 calories away. And so that's where the number comes from. So if you've ever calculated how to lose a pound a week, then just add 500 calories onto that. I guarantee you that's going to be very close to what your maintenance calories are. Let's do a little thing, right? So I had this woman, she's coming into the program, she's starting. Just a little heads up, a little bit of bonus for people that are registering early is you're already getting access to those maintenance calories. And I just hear a lot of time that people are saying it's really they don't understand. Why would I eat more? This is a lot of calories. And so it takes a little bit to wrap the brain around for some women that they have to eat more calories. And it can be very resistant to that fact. But it's plain and simple. We have to be at maintenance calories before we can go into a deficit, because why would a deficit work if you're already in a deficit? I don't know if you understand this concept. If you're already in a deficit, then when you come into my program, I can't put you into a deficit because you're already in a deficit. If it isn't working, there are a huge amount of reasons why you are not losing weight anymore on your little 14 to 1600 calorie bullshit, right? It's because your metabolism has downregulated. Most likely your digestion is off. You're probably not sleeping great. Your mood's probably not the best, right? We're not getting the energy or the nutrients that your body needs. We probably have some brain fog. Well, I know I'm missing one. Libido for sure. And just energy, all around, and motivation. But what does this sound, right? It sounds like menopause. Oh my God, this is the reason, right? I have all of these symptoms and that's because of menopause. Literally, guys, right? And the weight gain and all this, right? Literally, symptoms of menopause are not those things, right? That it's going to be, yes, trouble sleeping. I will agree with that one. Hot flashes and night sweats, right? These are the hallmarks of menopause, of perimenopause, right? All the other things are lifestyle related and are due to your metabolism. Now, I'm not saying that menopause makes those things harder. Absolutely. If you're sleeping like shit, you are not going to have the energy. But pile that on top of you constantly being chronically dieting, you constantly being in a diet is called chronically dieting. And we try to stick to these 14 to 1500 calories. And then on the weekends, maybe we just go off and then we feel like shit. And then we beat ourselves up. And then on Monday, we start all over again. So this is why, right? The metabolism has been downregulated. This is why it stops working. Because if we don't have energy, because we don't have energy coming in, then of course our motivation is going to be down. Of course our output is going to be down. That's why we just don't have any energy. If you increased your calories, you would have more energy. And same with brain fog. If you gave your body the calories that it needed, it would be able to operate. So the way I look at it, the metabolism is responsible for a lot of things. It tells the hormones what to do, but we think of it as a control panel, all of these switches and levers that we can pull. And when the body's not getting the calories that it needs, it starts turning some switches off, right? So it slows down digestion. It slows down your energy output. It slows down the growth of your hair, skin, and your nails. It slows down muscle growth. In fact, it's probably going to take muscle away, decreasing muscle. So it starts turning off all of these switches because the metabolism's main job is to keep you alive. So we need to pump blood. We have to have the organs working. So it's not going to be optimal. And so when you eat at the amount of calories that your body needs for maintaining, then guess what? All of the switches, we can turn these switches back on. Oh, okay, let's get the digestion going. Oh, let's bring the energy up. Oh, let's bring the libido up. And so what happens is we're not eating enough calories, so all those switches are just getting turned off. And so if you think about it like that, how cool would that be to turn all these switches on by eating more calories? What the hell? If you're not making any changes now, eating your 14 to 1500 calories, wouldn't it be more fun to eat 2200 calories and stay the same weight? When you eat at your maintenance calories, you're not losing weight or gaining weight. But my ladies are freaking terrified to eat more calories. Like, I can't even gain an ounce. It's like, Jesus Christ, please stop like attaching so much weight into the scale and just do something for your body that's actually going to pay off in the long run. So we have to bring calories up. Now, what happens if you're at 1,400 calories and you start eating 2,200 calories? Yeah, of course you're going to gain weight, like right away. Like in 2 to 3 days, you're going to gain probably 2 to 3 pounds. It's the same thing as when, you're on your bullshit like all weekend long, or I should say all week long, right? You're counting out your almonds and you're eating your freaking salads and shit like that. And then on the weekend, then you decide, hey, I'd love to be a normal person, hang out with my husband, have a beer and have some pizza. And then what happens? On Monday, you're 2 to 3 pounds over. And we look at that, when we look at the scale weight, we're like, oh my God, you equate that with fat gain. That is not what's happening, because it's actually impossible to gain that much fat in such a little time unless you were eating. So to truly gain 2 pounds of fat, then you would have to eat 7,000 calories over your maintenance. Now, like I said, most people's maintenance are around 2,000 calories. So you would have to eat 9,000 calories to actually gain 2 pounds of fat. So why does the scale go up 2 pounds? Because obviously, that's very easy to do. And that is because of contents in your stomach, right? And largely it's because of carbohydrates. Now we're pulling in all this water. We're storing all this water weight. So not only do we have have that excess water, imagine swallowing like a dry sponge, right? I know it's gross. Maybe we're just putting in a dry sponge into your body. What's going to happen? That is going to expand and is going to absorb all the water. And as you bring more water in, then that's going to weigh more, right? So that's what's happening with that weight gain. And that is what's going to happen when you start eating more carbs. Because let's be honest, if you're eating 1,400 to 1,500 calories and you're going to be at 2,200 calories, yes, I want you to eat, let's just say anywhere from 140 to 150 grams of protein. And then fats are going to be around 25% of those calories. And then the rest is going to come from carbs. But because we're in this deficit, what happens, right? We pull down carbs, we pull down fats, and then maybe we're not getting enough protein. So to get to that 2,200 calories, guess what? Everything has to go up. And so you're gonna definitely benefit from having more carbs. Like, I wouldn't really crank on the fat content that much, but I also don't really worry about it too much when we are in maintenance. So yes, you will gain 1 to 2 pounds right away. You have to. Like, it would be crazy if you didn't, because of what's happening. You have all this extra food now in your body. So what you need to do is you need to trust the process. You need to drink plenty of water so that it now flushes out, because that's what happens. We have that spike and then it just comes down. And now I know that first week is scary. I get it. It's scary as all hell. Trust me, I get the messages, but this is what has to happen. And just trusting in that process and realizing that, yeah, you know what? You can maintain your weight on higher calories. I know you don't want to maintain your weight, right? I know you're trying to lose weight, but the only way to dig yourself out of the hole that you're at right now, if you're not losing on your deficit calories, is to bring your body up to maintenance calories. And here's the thing, once you start eating at maintenance calories, guess what? Your body is going to start releasing the fat on your body because it doesn't need that anymore. Right now, your body is just storing the fat. It's like hoarding it, right? It's like you're getting just these very little calories. So we're going to decrease some of the muscle. We're going to hoard this. We're going to store these calories in the form of fat. And a great place is on the belly. So that's what happens. And once you bring your calories up to maintenance, the body's, wait a minute, we do not need this excess fat storage anymore. So let's get rid of this. She's actually feeding us. Yay. Now we can increase her energy. Turn that switch on. We're going to increase the digestion. Let's turn that switch on. We're going to bump up that libido. Let's turn that switch on, right? So all the switches come back on. And so you'll see a decrease in the body fat. We see inches coming down predominantly from the stomach in this period of maintenance. So guys, ladies, please don't be afraid of maintenance calories. It is your best friend whenever you decide that you're going to lose weight. This is where we start everybody off, is in this maintenance period first, because almost everybody, right? Not every single person. There has literally been one or two ladies in the past couple of years where we're like, yeah, we're going to start you in a deficit because they have been eating over their calories. It's time for a deficit. But most of my ladies are just not in that situation. They're like, I am busting tail. I'm working out, doing whatever, blah, 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 so many days a week, I'm getting my steps in, I'm eating healthy. And then we see what their calories are. It's okay, you are in a deficit, right? We can't, if the deficit ain't deficiting, then we have to go to maintenance. So let me just take like a scenario. So there was this one that she applied to be into my new program. So this is the Metabolic Fat Loss Accelerator. We are going to spend 2 weeks in maintenance, and then we're going to spend 2 weeks in a deficit. And I'm maintaining my weight at 1,600 calories. And I was like, So I was curious. I wasn't curious. I knew that her calories were going to definitely be more than that, just based on her height. And so let me just take her name out here. So for those that are watching, or no, you can't see my screen. Okay. Let's see. So she is 151 pounds. She's 5'6". She's 54. And so when I use the calculator, like the goal here is just to improve health. As far as her activity goes, she's working out 2 to 3 days per week consistently. So I could have flip-flopped between light and moderate. I'm always going to be conservative with calories here. So I went on the light portion of weekly purposeful exercise. And then her daily activity level, right, that doesn't include exercises, would be steps. And she's getting anywhere from 8 to 10,000 steps. So that's moderate, right? This would not be light. Light would be, let's see what the explanation is on here, a mix of sitting, standing, and light. That's probably more like my situation, to be honest. I'm lucky if I get 7,000 steps. So I put her at moderate. And then on this particular calorie calculator, it's going to say like dietary preference, which I put anything. Macronutrient ratio is balanced, and then meals per day is 3. And her results, because I was making a video for her, I was like, I predict that it's going to be 2,200 calories. And sure as shit, it came up at 2,219. 2,200 calories, 2,220. Now, so we have these recommendations. It's like recommending 143 grams of protein, 206 grams of carbs, and 91 grams of fat. I am going to tweak that a little bit because I know that we can improve body composition by actually bumping up her protein more towards what her actual body weight is. And yeah, I'm going to tweak these numbers. In MyFitnessPal, like you can put in that you want to maintain your weight, you want to gain weight, or you want to lose weight. And then it will say, what is the amount that you want to lose? And then it will also say, what is the amount that we want to gain? Nobody ever puts in that they want to maintain their weight, but that would be a super easy way for you to see what are your maintenance calories. I hope this was helpful. I understand that, yeah, you are eating 1,400 to 1,500 calories and you think that's your maintenance. It's just because you've been at those calories for so long. So if you can bring yourself up to maintenance, do yourself a favor and do your body a favor, and then it will pay you back, right? I know the thing that you want the most is to lose weight, but your body's just trying to keep you alive. The metabolism is in charge of that, plus the hormones. And if you could increase your calories and eat at maintenance calories, that is going to do so much for your body, is going to, again, turn all those switches on that you have inadvertently turned off. So if you want details on my program, I am going to drop the link here below. It is $249, so it's very reasonable for those 4 weeks. Again, it's a group coaching program. This is exactly what I do with my one-on-one clients. It's just like in a little faster timeline. We're doing like, I think the difference between one-on-one is I'm going to guide you. We'll talk through the maintenance process with that, because I think sometimes it takes my ladies a couple weeks to actually get up there. And so there is a huge like mindset component that comes along with one-on-one coaching. So I have this group. I'm still going to be talking about about that mindset component. But when you're looking at one-on-one, it's like, what is the situation specific to you? Because everybody has different situations. And so like, how are we going to make this work for you? So we are going 2 weeks into a maintenance phase and then 2 weeks in a deficit. If you sign up now, you're getting extra time because we don't start until the 23rd. So that's going to give you a little bit of runway to get up to your maintenance calories before we actually go into that deficit, which I think is somewhere around the 6th or something like that. But imagine like by April 1st, well before April 1st, right before Easter, like fitting into your clothes differently. I'm giving you workouts. We're going to make sure that we are building muscle, and I look at body composition. I want to take the fat off of the body and make sure that we are increasing the muscle. That's how you get that nice shape and definition. So if that's something that you're looking for, right? This is honestly for the woman who is stuck at those 1,400 calories working out and they don't even look like they work out. This is how we're going to turn that around. So I think I said it's $249. I'm dropping the link below. I only have 15 spots, right? This is the first time that I'm doing this program. I want to make sure that everybody gets the attention that they need. I might do this again. I don't know, right? I want to see how this goes and see how the results go. Do I need to make this a longer program? I don't know. If I do, then it would be more expensive. That is all that I have. I hope that you enjoyed this episode. I hope this has given you clarity on what are maintenance calories and why you're not making any changes, like why you're not seeing the changes that you want, even though you're you say you're maintaining your weight. If you know somebody that would benefit from this information, I would love it if you shared it with them. If you like any of these episodes, like pop them up on your stories and say, hey, I just wanted to share this episode. I would love that. Love. All right. I will talk to you next week. Bye.